for today is Luke 12, verses 13 to 21. The parable of the rich fool. Someone in the crowd said to him, meaning Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." Jesus replied, "Man, who appointed me a judge or an arbiter between you?" Then he said to them, "Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions." And then he told them this parable. The ground of a certain rich man produced a good crop. He thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops." Then he said, "This is what I'll do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of good things laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? This is how it will be for anyone who stores up things for himself, but is not rich toward God." This is the word of the Lord.
Each gospel, in addition to telling the story about Jesus, also the gospel telling to us about how is the community around the gospel, how is the community who produced, the place who was producing the gospel. That is something that we can notice very well in Luke. When talking about the relationship between rich and poor, or the administration of wealth or the duty that the rich have to share their assets to take care of the homeless. The emphasis that Lucas is Spanish, Luke, the emphasis that Luke gives to this topic makes us think that Luke's community was a mixed group that was struggling to be integrated. Not only was he in the process of combating ethnic discriminations as a community made by Jewish, Samaritan, and other Gentiles believers, but he was dealing with and trying to heal the gap or the great economic disparity between members living in opulence and those who live in extreme poverty. With this context in mind, we now approach to the text of the Gospel of Luke 12, 13, 21, or what we can call the parable of the rich selfish. A first reading of this text allows us to distinguish three possible moments within the story. First, Jesus' interaction with a man from the crowd who asked him to intervene in a family dispute, an invitation that Jesus rejects. Second, the exhortation that Jesus offered both brothers and the multitude through wise counsel in response to the first request. And third, the illustration that Jesus tells the crowd about a selfish rich man so that everyone can learn the lesson against greed. In the verses before our passages, we find Jesus in the middle of the crowd, urging her to take care of the hypocrisy of the Pharisees and to confess their faith without fear. It is in the midst of this crowd that the voice of a man is here asking Jesus to intervene so that his brother shares her inheritance with him. We don't have more details about the story. We can only speculate that perhaps, as in the case of the parable of the prodigal son, a brother has already spent his inheritance and now asks Jesus to mediate from his older brother to give him a portion of the double inheritance which by law he received at the firstborn. Jesus refused to play the role that any other rabbi in his place could have assumed. It is evident that Jesus doesn't want to deviate from his mission in response to a request possibly motivated by greed. Instead of wasting time in litigation, Jesus gives them advice that constitutes the central point of this discussion. Look, verse 15. Be aware of all greed, because man's life doesn't consist in the abundance of the God's possessions. Then Jesus tells the parable of the rich servant, a man who appears to be alone in the world and whose life consists solely of the abundance of goods he possesses. Proudly says, my goods, my fruits, my barns, my soul. A selfish life diametrically opposite to what Jesus has just advised. It is interesting to read the different titles that this passage has received in several of the Bible translations. The full rich, the meaningless rich fool, the rich stupid, warning against greed and the danger of riches. Almost all these titles focus on cataloging the fictional man in the parable. But the less of these titles talking about the character of that of whom came with Jesus to ask him for help. The title that most closely matches the central message of the parable is Warning Against Greed. The easy we have today to acquire goods at low cost is impressive. You can see the social media, internet, we can see on Facebook, the difference. Instagram, you can buy whatever do you want immediately. If you have an account in Amazon, just you need to click in one button and you have wherever do you want. share them, possessions lost their practical and service sense and become a concern, an economic burden, an obsession that consumes life. If we pay attention to the three moments that the text offers to us, we can find several points of interest. In the first moment, when the man asked Jesus to intervene in his family dispute, I find the request that arises without further detail interesting. Why does Luke use this character? Why does man seek the meditation of Jesus? The mediation of Jesus, sorry. Do you think it is a case that deserves justice and that only Jesus can grant it? It is possible that man wants to manipulate Jesus by moving him with compassion. Jesus answered him even almost with indignation, as offended because he has been asking to do something that has nothing to do with his mission. The reason why this man approached Jesus is not clear, but it is clear that on many occasions we invoke God's help to accumulate possessions. It's clear sometimes that we just ask him for half more. My question here is, how are we looking for Jesus? Which one is our purposes to came and to look in Jesus? Which one is? Thinking, let us think about that. In this era of high consumerism, the advice we find in the second moment of the text can help us to discern that since the first century, when the volume of consummation of goods had not yet reached the levels we have today, possessions have created the false illusion that having more is equivalent to being happier. The fight against greed is not against objects in possessions, but against the place that such objects have in our hearts. The question is, what is giving me life today? Our car? Our homes? The money we have in the bank? Or is God? And finally, the third moment offers us a challenge to answer the question, what does it mean to be rich towards God? The phrase, rich to God, is unusual. What does it mean to be rich to God? The meaning is clear from the contrast. It is the opposite of piling up treasures for oneself. Being rich to God is the opposite of treating oneself as if it were created for things and not for God. Being rich to God is the opposite of acting as if life consisted of the abundance of possessions and not the abundance of knowing God. To be rich with God, therefore, is that the heart be attracted to God as our wealth. Rich to God means to be close to God. Rich to God means to have God as our greatest wealth, greater than everything on earth. Rich to God means to use earthly possessions, earthly wealth, to show how much you value God. This is what the prosperous farmer does not he did. And the result, that he was a fool and lost his soul, which is what I wanted to say when I say Jesus considers money dangerous, seduces away from God's love, seduces us not to treasure God. Again, the problem is not that man feels flourish. The problem is not how many possessions you have. The problem is that God ceases to be your supreme treasure. If God had been your treasure, what would have been different? This guy in the story, instead of saying, "Saul, you have many assets, deposit for many years, rest, eat, drink, have fun," he would have said something like this: "God, all I have is yours. You made this field prosper. Show me how to express with my riches that you are my treasure, and the riches are not. I already have enough. I don't need a bigger or better protection mesh. I don't need better food, better drinks, and better parties. Yes, in fact, I need to have fun, but not in self-indulgent parties with rich and retired people. I want to have fun with people who have been helping my generosity. I want the greatest blessing to give, because you have taught me, Lord, that it is more blessed to give than to receive." This little example, Megan, she took a decision. And sometimes we took decisions in ways that we want. She thought in the bus could be a bigger present, a bigger prize. She thought could be better. And we do it. And we take the decisions in ways that we want. And we don't take the decisions about what we already have. And when we do it that, we forgot that everything we have is coming from God. And we forgot to say thank you to God for that. May the Lord grant us all joy, joyful and unnatural joy, of finding our life not in goods, but in the abundance of everything in God, and in fulfilling the commitments of our covenant, and in showing the world that it means having God as our wealth.